Welcome to Maple Ridge, home of the Super Turbo 701. I am Tom Murphy, the builder of the CH701, and today I'm doing a video update. Still working on the rear channel of the left wing. What I did this morning was I got my channels all laid out. I've got my jig in place. It's up here and ready to get going. I have not put anything in play yet. I just wanted to kind of show what I've done here. So this is the wing end, and it's the 7V6 2SP. It's the same channel as the larger ones, same stock, but it does not get one of these to attach it in here on the rib. What it does here is you had to measure 20 millimeters in, make a line, 20 millimeters again in, make a line, and then you cut the whole 40 millimeters out, and then your bend is made exactly the way I use my rubber mallet and my piece of wood to round out that corner to put that flange on there. So this is the bottom. The larger than 90 degree goes on the bottom, the 90 on top, and this will fit in here roughly in there like that. On the other side, you had to measure from the bend, from the very bend, and 425 millimeters to the top, and then you put a 45 degree angle on it and cut that out for that piece of extrusion, or for that channel. You can see it on my right wing up there. That is the same piece right there that we're looking at right there, and how that's going to be installed. It's kind of nice having that other wing up there to go back and look at. So then if you look at my other, like I showed before, I number each one so I know where they go. That's 6, that's 6. This channel is 600 millimeters long, right to this end, and that is the bracket that I put in, perfectly centered between the radiuses. And using your jig, this is set up for the 400 millimeter right now. That's how you get those holes. You measure up to get the holes on your on this first is what I do. So I come up 8, 12 millimeters to the center, 12 millimeters to the top, gives you 8 again on that side. That aligns your holes perfectly where they're supposed to be centered. I've done that on all of the 7V6-2s. The bends have been made. My angles have been put in. And then this is the heavier extrusion, this 7V6-1. Now this one is only 400 millimeters from here to the end of the angle. And that goes between 3 and 4. And as you can see, I marked 4 there, and 4 up there, 3 there, 3 there. You might not think it's a big deal, but I'll tell you, when you get these parts flying around, all of this stuff moving around, it's nice to have all of this marked with a Sharpie, just so you know where it goes. Then there's another 7V6-2, 600 millimeters from end to end. That's going to go in here. Another 7V6-2, same thing, 600 millimeters, and I do put my measurements on them just so I know. And then on the end for the root, there's a 7V6-1, which is again the heavier channel. In this channel, I didn't cut it out yet. You measure 20 millimeters in, and then you will make a line right here so that you're on the inside of that radius. You can almost see the shade, and that'll get cut out. This will get bent down with using the piece of wood right here. Using this again to make a nice rounded out cut. And then this piece will go on this rear. This is the root rib that's going to be installed right here. There's a little more that goes into this. This plate's going to get put in here. I still have to mark this all out and drill it. This piece is only going to end up being 295 millimeters long. So once I put this angle on and I get it, it's going to be 295 millimeters from there down to here somewhere. And then this piece right here is going to be, it'll be cut off. This will be gone. But this will actually be the part that will get an AN bolt, and it will get fixed to the rear part of the wing on the cabin. That's the rear. That is the front that's already installed. There's going to be a little bit more to setting it up because I already have my fuselage built. So I'm not going to use my jig. I'm using this jig right now just to set these channels. And you'll kind of see what I do here with this jig. You take and you put this on here like this. And that jig will fit perfectly on that. And that will get stuck up in here. Like that. That'll get up in there nice and snug. Actually, that's got to come over a little bit right there. But anyways, when I lift that up, and then what I do is I clamp this jig right to this exactly right there. And then I can drill through my pilot holes here into the rib. Once that's done, then this can come out. I can put this back on here like this, clamp that all again, and I can back drill from where my finger's pointing here inside. I can back drill through the holes that I already put in this rib to get that channel exactly where it's supposed to be. But this is the part where you need to measure your skin. My skins for this, for the top of the wing, came pre-drilled, and I mentioned it in the last video. Very important that from right here should be, there actually is a little more skin that hangs over on the wing skin. It kind of comes over a little farther, but your holes start right here. So you have to measure from your center of your hole right there. Then you have to measure along the top down to here with this exactly snuffed up in there like that, and find the center of this channel and put a black, make a Sharpie line exactly in the center. The pre-drilled hole that's going to be at the top edge of that jig down to here, the pre-drilled hole in the wing, you should be able to see the black line in this channel. I'm not going to put the skin down on here right now, but if I go up and measure from there down to here, basically, if I take my tape, sorry for the shakiness of the camera, I'm grabbing my tape, but if I measure down, that is the center hole, and it's tough to do without two people, but anyways, just to get an idea, you'll measure down here like this, and let's just say that between the holes is 710 millimeters. I'm not sure what it is. I've got it written down. But that's where it should be, in the center. Now if that hole is, say, right there, then you're going to have to adjust this rear channel a little bit according to this jig, because you want your holes to match perfectly, centered here on the skin, and to be centered right here on the skin. I don't have a GoPro. I use an iPad to do all my videoing. I'm not a video guy. But anyways, you get the idea of what that jig is used for, to perfectly line that up so that it's nice and square in between all of the rear channel and the ribs. So next, what I've got to do, I'm going to come up to the front, and I've got this little tiny nose rib that has to go in here like this. This is going to get installed here before I put that rear or the front root rib on. But anyways, that's going to get put in there like this. Now on the last one that I did, the right wing, notice that gap right there? You want that centered. And this has to get bent down. Word of advice, just don't get in there and start beating on that with a hammer. You want to just kind of nice manipulate this starting up here and get it to come down and lay flat so it contours just right on that rib. It took me a while to get it because I didn't want to get a bend in it, but you need to get that to lay flat down on top of that so that the skin will rivet to it. Once I have these holes set up, then this will get mounted on the back side of it right there where it's supposed to be. And then doing the wing proper distance between the two mounts, between here and that flat piece down there. I've got a jig made for that because, again, I already have my airplane built, so this is another jig here that I built so that I can transfer my measurements exactly from here back. And I'll show you a little bit of what I mean. So that has to fit there like that. Now this should fit exactly right on top of that because that is the inside and that one needs to slide down in there. So that is spot on perfect there. And then the other one will be on the inside and be able to bolt to the inside of that. Word of caution, and that's another place where the videos were really valuable to listen to. As you can see, I've got my video playing up there. He's got his jig installed, working on the ribs. Err on the side of a little bit smaller than too big, because when you go to put that wing on there, and I'll show you what I mean, if it's a little bit narrower, like maybe by 2 millimeters, you can put a washer in here to make that come together nice. But if you make it too wide, where this one has to stick, it has to slide in here, that one slides in there and gets a bolt. So that's fixed. So when you're looking back here, the rear part of the wing root has to slide down just like that in there and get a bolt in it. Now if you're too big, if it's 2 millimeters too big, you're going to end up bending this. So if you're going to make a mistake either way, you want to make an error on the side of being a little smaller, because you can put washers in here to bring that out exactly where it's got to be. Now you don't want to be a ½ an inch off or anything, but within a couple millimeters, you know, smaller is not going to hurt you because you can actually put a washer in there and tighten that up nicely. I tried my right wing on there when I got finished, and I didn't have to put any washers in. It worked out perfectly. So if you spend a little time making this jig, I call it a jig. Notice how I glued some aluminum on this end. I have my angles the way it's supposed to be, and I've got some aluminum on this side. You know, it took me a little while to build that, but again, if you're going to make a mistake, err on the side of a little bit smaller than the side of being too large. If it's too large, then you're going to have to come back in here where this hooks here. This is going to get put in here, and what that jig does, there's an angle bracket that goes in here like this, and what you do with that angle bracket is this this piece moves in and out on this part to where it's supposed to be. I put that jig right in here where my finger is, and it gives me the perfect distance this way. From up there to back here, it gives you the distance this way, so it'll fit perfectly onto the mounts on the fuselage for the wing. A little smaller is better, but if it's too big, it's not going to fit, and you're going to have to come back in here and take an angle bracket out of here. You're going to have to reinforce this. You're going to have to do a bunch more work and riveting and stuff, and follow the plans as far as procedure for reinforcing that. I did not run into that because I erred on the side of small, and erring on the side of small actually worked out to be perfect. So I'm going to post this video up. If you like it, hit the subscribe button and like my videos. I'm trying to see how many followers I can get on this. I'm actually trying to do a little bit more technical videos with this stuff, just because there's not a lot of stuff out there for building a 701 other than the home build help DVDs that you have to buy. So I'm gonna, every time I do something that's a little technical, I'm gonna kind of explain it the best I can. I'm a teacher. My job in law enforcement is I'm a trainer. So, but I've never trained anybody to build an airplane. So I'm just kind of going through this to let you know the problems I run into, the wins that I have, and the end results. Take your time, follow the plans. These were not so bad because the holes were all pre-drilled. I had to drill my holes in my root rib, or in my ribs, the wing ribs, but it was pretty much cut and dried because of the distance. The distances between them were all marked. Worked out really nice. A little bit of work to it, the leading edge slats, building them. I had a video put up for that, not too bad, just a little tedious. So if you enjoy the videos, like I said again, hit the like and subscribe button and follow me on my journey. Until next time, it's Tom from Maple Ridge, home of the Super Turbo 701.